Okay. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this white ball and I'm going to take this number 9 white yellow stripe ball and I'm going to put it in that corner pocket right there. Put it in that corner pocket. So watch it. It's coming fast. It's coming fast. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. So watch it. Wait for it. Wait for it. Uh-huh. Yeah. Yeah. So much for putting that in there. Okay. So you scratched on that one. So I'm gonna put it right here. I know I'm cheating. I know it. I ain't never say I wouldn't cheat. I ain't never say that. I'm gonna put it right there. I'm gonna take this white ball. I'm gonna take this number 10, this white and blue stripe. I'm gonna put in that hole right there. All right, y'all ready? Here we go. Here we go. Oh, did you see that? Did you see what you said? All right, now watch this. I'm gonna take this white ball. I'm gonna put this green one in this pocket right here. Watch and see what happens. All right, just wait for it. Wait for it. Wait for it. Here it is. Here it is. Uh-huh. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Okay. Yeah. Missed that one. You missed that one. Okay. Now listen. Here's what we're gonna do. Gonna put this stick up right here. Ain't gonna put it in the rack just yet. And here's what I'm gonna do. Every last one of y'all. Now, because that one did what it did, y'all was probably all in this together. Every last one of y'all on punishment. So here what you're going to do. You're going to go away. You're going to put your way into your hole. It's going in there because I don't want to look at you no more. I'm sick of you. Got me all in front of my company and stuff and got me looking bad out here. Looking at me like that. What you looking at? Telling you. Doggone kids. Can't take them nowhere. Telling I say, go over there. Go over, do this. Be back at a certain time. Kids don't listen to you. How y'all doing? Everybody all right? Now listen, I am not a pool player. I am not a pool player. I am a pool watcher when I watch. When I watch. I'm not a pool player. I got a pool table and I got it down here for entertainment purposes. And it's just been here. So you can say whatever you want to say about me. I don't really care about it. It's been down here for I don't know how many years now. And I don't use the pool table. I don't even know really how to get through a game, but I just got it because it looked good. It looked good. So I figured, well, let me just get a pool table just in case, you have company and stuff. I don't have no company though. You know what I mean? I just kind of here. It is what it is. I kind of prefer it like that. Anyway, I'm social when the lights come on. I'm an introvert when the lights go off. I really don't want to be bothered with people. That don't mean I don't love people. It's just that, you know, I just prefer to do things a little bit different. Um, we've been working. We've been working this message, marriage, the marriage series. We've been working the series, not the message, the marriage series. We dealt with commitment, and I even put out a video earlier today about that commitment because I got my baby back. I don't know if y'all watched that video now, but I got my baby back, and that set me back about 5 large. That set me back about 5 large. I still got a couple more. I got a couple more stacks to put with that in order to get it back where I want it to be at, and I'm hoping that that we can work things out. That's what I'm hoping. It's it's true that when you and your girl y'all fall out, you got to spend a little bit of money on her, to kind of bring her back in. And so I'm gonna spend five large. You feel me? And this time when she come back, I'm gonna take her out a little bit more, drive her. We might go on a few trips together and stuff like that. And I'm just gonna take care of her a little bit better than what I did before, because that last little stunt that she pulled on me, she can't do that no more. She can't do that no more now. She can't do that. I love you, girl, but listen. You know. So we talked about commitment with the marriage series. We talked about shame, and that dealt with the areas of Adam and Eve when they covered up. They covered themselves from God. They tried to hide themselves from God because they were exposed to a mindset, a viewpoint that they should not have been exposed to. And so they started seeing God in a different light other than the light that he had put before them, other than the light that he had put before them. Then they started looking at one another other than the light that they should have been viewing one another. Ultimately, it came down to um, the food of the enemy. The the enemy comes to steal, kill, and destroy, and his tactics were in the area of food. That means my intake. What am I going to have as a daily diet that's going to feed me and going to give me the energy and the sustenance for my life? It's the direction. It's the books that I read. It's the people that I hang out with, the conversations that I indulge in, and all of that. The next one was we talking about the shame. I'm just going back, giving you a little recap. We talking about the what I look at. It was good. It was good to the eyes. It was pleasant to the eyes. King James version. And that means is that the enemy brought something to Adam and Eve, and once they started to see it for what it was not, based upon what it was, but they started to see it for what it was not. They got shame, and the shame now can go down a lot of different streets, a lot of different avenues, if you will. And so a lot of times this type of shame is, I look at my spouse and my spouse don't look like she used to. Uh, he don't look like he used to. Gravity has taken its toll, and so the enemy plants it in your mind that you can do better than this based upon the view. So it's not as beautiful to look at. And when it's not so beautiful to look at, what you want to do is you want to cover it up, right? Because aesthetically, it's not so pleasing. There was a lot of things that we talked about in that particular series, and there's so much more that I left on the table. But ultimately, this is an area of challenge that we have and that we will continue to have, because we will always be in the purview of competition and comparison. That's what that pleasant to the eyes did, that when they bit of that fruit and they put it in front of them, well, you're not so pleasant to the eyes, and I can see different than you. And when I see it, I kind of lean into that now. I like that a little bit more than what I like over here. And so there's a lot of different dynamics to that can be nuanced. And the last one was in this shame message was about the good for wisdom. It would elevate you. And wisdom now is the application of knowledge and understanding. But it lends itself to ambition, because in life, what we drive towards is to be better. But in order to be better, you have to have a know-how. And once you have a know-how, you have to know how to appropriate what you know. And you want that to carry you down the street of longevity for quite some time. So what we said in that particular message was that you get to a point to where now it's about um, I don't have what I feel that I should have at this point, and I'm ashamed of that. I'm ashamed of myself. I'm ashamed of who I married. I'm ashamed of you, because we should be further down the road than what we are now. We should be in a new house, but we're not. We're in an apartment. We should have at least one vehicle that does not break down, but that's not the case for us. One of us at least should have went to school by now. We should have a job that is better than Walmart, but that's not the case now. So it pulls on your knowledge and your understanding and your wisdom, the application of all that. And when things are there's big holes in it, what you do is you want to lean in and blame somebody. So ultimately, that comes back to your significant other. What I said in that message, that uh, everybody that walks this earth will be challenged by one of those three areas, whether you are uh, the the bishop, the pope, the presiding prelate of whatever denomination, whether you are a missionary, a deacon, a choir member, on usher board one or usher board two. It's not going to matter, because the enemy has designed it that way. he knew in the program, it was built in that if you were to bite of the fruit of the knowledge of good and evil, from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, he knew that inside of that, that program would run until Jesus comes back. The only saving grace that we have to get around that is that we have to subject ourselves to the Spirit of God, to the Word of God, to Jesus the Christ, to the cross, to Calvary. We got to go all in that. Other than that, we will walk and be defeated, as it were, because um, the enemy's position, his tactics are extremely potent. They're extremely potent. And one of the other messages, I talked about the plan, and in that message, I dealt with Jesus dealing with Peter, and he says, Peter, Satan has desire to have you, to sift you as wheat, but I pray for you that your faith fail you not. And when thou art converted, he says, go and strengthen your brother. One of the things that I'm noticing today, and I'll get back to this, is that most of us are not waiting for the conversion. And we're trying to strengthen our brother off of a the family psychiatry, off of popular science, off of a popular last name or a familiar TV show, off of entertainment, off of Hollywood, off of medical science, and all these things. And some of them have their benefits. However, it is not the recipe, the prescription of God, from God. He put us here and he gave us all the stuff that we would ever need. However, when the enemy came in, the enemy distorted that with an alternative. And so when he says that Satan has desired to have you, what we talked about in that message was the fact that the desire is a strong drive and a committed, he's a committed, relentless to get you at any cost. Um, and I also delve into it from the standpoint that the enemy just didn't put this together. It has been a strategy for a long, long time. A lot of us think that the crisis that we are in, the fight that we're in now, it just started, like a couple years ago. The situation where you engaged with this man or you engaged with this woman, it happened a couple years ago. It has not. It did not. It happened many, many years ago because it happened on the enemy's watch. He just orchestrated certain people that just so happen to look a certain way and to position themselves to be in the right place at the right time for you. And so it's not that this just happens. It's a design, it's a plan for your life. It is to sift you as wheat. The sifting now, the picture that Jesus is trying to present is as you throw the chaff up in the air, he wants you to be scattered by the wind, just like the chaff is scattered by the wind. That means for you to be so fragmented that there is no more life in you, and that the wheat of your life falls to the ground and it never even makes it to harvest. That's the idea. That's the picture behind that. So he says to Peter, Satan has desired to have you and to sift you as wheat, but I pray for you. The other part in that I dealt with um, the book of Jonah. Jonah, when God gave Jonah a commission, he mandated that he would go to Nineveh and go and speak to the people. Now, the message that he was going to deliver was not an easy message to deliver, and he knew enough about God to understand that God can change his mind. And so he didn't want to look a certain way. He didn't want to look bad. And so what he did was he got on a ship, and he got on the ship that was going the opposite direction. And instead of going to Nineveh, he went to Tarshish. And we all know they started having problems out at sea. And it didn't really bother Jonah so much. And that was very odd. It was strange that everybody else was under duress, but Jonah was not under any duress. He was at the bottom of the ship and he was just chilling out. And so they said, what manner of man is this? We got all this trouble going on. And this dude just chilling. So they had already did a self check and a sense check and started unloading all types of things, and it didn't help. the matter. And so they said, "It's got to be something with this dude." And so they take Jonah, they throw him off, and he lands in the mouth of a whale, and he's there for 3 days and 3 nights. And the moral of that is that Jonah was a man of disobedience. And I talked about that from my own story, my own timeline of being disobedient, whether that is major disobedience or what we would consider minor disobedience. If God said it, that ends it. So he is now looking to see how you're going to perform to what he said for you to do. And so this is the construction. This is the framework around the marriage series, if you will. And so I want to continue in this vein of marriage because I just can't seem to get away from it. I keep saying I don't know why, but I can't seem to get away from it. It's speaking to me. It haunts me, and perhaps the reason why I'm so connected to this is because it is an area of contention in my life. It has challenged me. In fact, it has been the greatest challenge that I have ever dealt with. Some people say, well, what about the education that you, all the nights and the days and nights that you spent trying to get through all that schooling stuff? No, 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 no. That wasn't it. Um, Now, I would give that an MS a close run for their money. Uh, I would do that because the MS has been around about as long as the separation and divorce, and it was grueling and ugly. I would wish it on my worst enemy. So the point of it is that it was very challenging. It's very challenging, and so for me, when something becomes that much of a challenge, it's deserving of further investigation, a second look, maybe even a third look. And so what I do is I start to investigate. And so since I've been on this journey, I've looked at this thing and I've sliced it and diced it. I've tossed it and turned it. I've done a whole lot of different things with this, and and I'm still here, and I'm going to be here until I can't be here anymore. And hopefully, you're going to get something out of this. The purpose of this is not for me to reveal personal things with you. The purpose of this is for me to be so transparent that you will learn. I'm like a walking, living epistle, that you would learn of my life and that you would bypass the potholes or the pitfalls that I have found myself in. That's the reason why I'm being transparent. Other than that, anybody knows me. I'm a secret. I'm like a secret squirrel, right? And so nobody really knows a whole lot about me. But in this particular capacity, I find myself here, and I'm just uh, I'm just at the Lord's disposal to say whatever I need to say without a filter, to some degree, and without reputation. That being said, I want to talk a little bit more today with respect to marriage. And I want to bring our attention. I want us to focus. I want us to focus. I want us to focus on two areas, uh, maybe even three. But there's because I need to build this just a little bit before I can give you my title. I need to build this just a little bit. And so in Genesis chapter number 3, beginning at verse number, uh, chapter number 2, um, chapter number 2, and beginning at verse number 18, it says this: And the Lord God said, It is not good that the man should be alone, all one. It's not good that he should be alone, all one. I will make him a help meet for him. I will make him somebody that is compatible, that would be conducive, that is complementary to what I have made Adam and I have purposed in his life to do. Now that is a twofold spin because um, you have to be careful when you look at this. A lot of people are under the opinion that whatever occupation that the Lord gives me, my wife should be that. You see a lot of pastors, they they're in ministry for 30 years and they get sick, and their wives step up to the plate. And although it's common now, it's not necessarily right. It's not what you do, but we have noticed it. So I'm saying all this because what I don't want you to walk away with is that your wife has to be able to do what you do. Okay. So a suitable helpmeet for Adam was to be like-minded in terms of the goal, the direction that we're going in, but we have different attributes, if you will. We're going to be fruitful and to multiply because that is the mandate of God. But in order for us to do that, you have to do your part and I have to do my part. And I can't do what you do and you can't do what I do. So, that being said, it makes us compatible but unique and different. Yet we are the same in terms of the direction that we go in. I can say so much more about that. So he says here that it's not good that a man should be by himself, and that's the place where Adam had found himself. And God was saying to him, "There's so much to do that you're going to need a helper, and easer to help accommodate you. She should be accommodating. She should be accommodating." Every relationship, the two people should be able to complement and to accommodate one another, just so in such a way to where everything just works. It just works. It doesn't mean that you agree. It doesn't mean that you look alike. It just means that it just works. There's another place, and I won't go there, um, where God called calls Eve out of Adam, and he pulls Eve out of who Adam already is. And so he puts him to sleep. When he puts him to sleep, he does anesthesia, and he's under anesthesia, and he wakes up, and there is a rib that is missing, which is an indication that what's missing is a part of you. It is you, but now it is going to come back to you in a different form. I'm going somewhere. And so he sees her and he says, "Wow, this is bone of my bone and flesh of my flesh." And so this again, it becomes somewhat pragmatic or problematic to um, the issue of what Satan presented to Eve and to Adam, because Adam ate because Eve gave to him. When it came to the pleasant to the eye, because the way that Adam saw Eve coming to him, we are distorting that today, thinking that that is the way that your Eve is going to appear to you all the time. The application, the spiritual application here, is that you are not to look at her with natural eyes. It's not lusty eyes. It's not, girl, look at that, 36, 24, 36. You on point. Did you heard me? It's not about that. It's to be able to look at her with purpose. Now, there is a bonus that could be thrown in, and that she could be aesthetically pleasing. The Bible talks about that with Abraham and Sarah, with Isaac and um, Rebecca, with Jacob and um, not Leah, but what was the other girl's name? Um, y'all know